Oh, we got a comment there from Mark. My scroll saw stopped working. Oh dear, that's Mark telling us this. I tried everything, took it apart as much as brave enough to clean everything up, but still no luck. Oh dear, that sounds like it's a possible motor issue there or something, Mark. Not good, not good to hear that. Let's have a little look what's going on here. We're trying to get in. I'm trying to get into my own live stream. Yeah, hope all is well. A bit later because we had a phone call just as I was about to go live there, and yeah, that doesn't sound good, does it? With Mark's scroll saw.
Well, is it completely dead?
Oh, the carver's here as well. Hello, we missed you last week. Glad you're here. Hope all is well. Yeah, that sounds. Just checking our music balance as well because we've got a few comments with the different music and stuff like that.
The first thing
what do you? Yeah, we be interested to know a little bit more feedback on that. Well, Mark, find out what's happening there. Is it is it motor? Sounds.
The first thing to check is the fuse, isn't it?
First thing, yeah, as Dan said, that's what we always check is the fuses because we've had quite a few blow on us recently. I always wonder with that if. I always wonder with that if I don't know whether we're getting a few more power surges than normal, but yeah, we've certainly had a fair few fuses blow recently, and then yeah, be interested to know a bit more, Mark. What you think the cause might be? Getting back to this one as well. You can see we've marked out, we're going to make a little candle holder, which reminds me actually, did you see I put there those two, they need the candle drilled out for them, so we're preparing for that. Okay. Oh, we've got Henry with us. Hello, Henry. Hope all is well, and we've also got Gabby with us. Hope all is well with Gabby as well. Remember to check out one another's channels if you haven't. Well worth a look at Gabby's channel and the carver as well. Oh, we've got a bit more feedback. I looked on Facebook Marketplace and found a lady selling approximately only 75 cents. So we got to find somewhere to put that as it's bigger. Yeah. But no, just be interested to know what you think's going on with that scroll saw. With this one then, we're cutting out a puffin. It's all bird themed today. So if you're interested in birds and things like that, we got a phoenix and a puffin that we're going to be working on. This is going to be like a little hanging decoration that we'll put in the workshop for sale. And then this one here, the puffin, that's going to be turned into like a candle holder. Puffin associated with this area, Pembrokeshire, although is it the razor bill or the guillemot that is actually the emblem?
I think they use the razor bill.
The razor bill is the actual one, yeah. So yeah, that's what we're going to have a look at. I'm going to get cutting out. Any questions? Let us know as we go along. And as well, be interested to know, Mark, a bit more insight into what you think might be going on there. But in the meantime, I'm going to get cutting. I just thought as well, if you went, we could go on the split screen. We've got Thompson Wood Carver doing some carving here at the same time. If you want to go over the other side, I can put two cameras. I can put the split screen on so everyone can see what you're doing as well. Bear with me 2 seconds. I'll put the split screen on and
Well, I've only got one more to go.
you're not going to do any more?
Well, there's only one more carving I got on here, but I will do it then.
You could go, I'm just thinking if you went out on the other side of the vent,
Okay.
yeah, everyone can see us both with it at the same time.
Okay.
There we are. Just thought it'd be nice for everybody to be able to see a little bit of wood carving as we're cutting out on the scroll saw. Let's have a little look. What have I missed? Let's have a little check. The old one was working until I put a piece of wood next to the blade and just not enough power to cut 5mm thick. Right. Oh dear. Yeah, that doesn't sound too good. I tell you, the only time that I had anything broke like this, I was cutting out quite a thick. I was making a Celtic themed box, and it was quite a thick piece of wood. And what happened? There's a piece that connects the bottom arm and the motor, and it broke. It had probably been weakened at some point before, and just wear and tear, that sort of thing. But eventually, then it just broke, unfortunately. So yeah. That's the only time I've had anything like that, and you could still hear the motor was still making a noise, but of course nothing was happening. Right, you can see, beauty of working in that scroll saw, we get a lovely finish on there. Nice perfume as well that we always get from this Savina, the cedar, the juniper as we're cutting it out. We're going to cut all around the front there, and then those little bits in there. So today's project, not a huge amount of scroll sawing, but again, hopefully it gives you an idea of how we go through the process of making little gift items in wood. And we're always looking for a theme, so we got that birds theme today, and with this being a bird that is associated in the area that we are, it has that appeal then when it comes to visitors and sales. There we are. Right, so we got most of that pierce work cut out. Let's have a little look there. How did you put? Oh dear, I missed that. You've broken your ribs. Dear me, sorry to hear that. I missed that. Dealing with busted. Oh dear me. Sorry to hear that. Hope you're on the mend. That sounds pretty serious stuff. I've done that myself from playing rugby, and it's pretty unpleasant and yeah, not nice, especially if you cough or you sneeze. Not good at all.
Well, I'm going to go off camera a minute.
Be pretty uncomfortable.
I'm going to come back then, alright?
Yeah, no worries. What I'll do then, I'll go back across to one can on the scroll saw for that. There we are, just like so. And then I'll put it back on. Yeah, hope you're recovering quickly there. What I'm thinking is that one, you could just pick that one up and move it out the way and then bring it back. It's those ones there as well are if you get a chance just to drill that hole so we can turn these into candle holders.
Okay, I've got a little bit of time on
yeah, hope you're better. Yeah, no panic. Okay. Yeah, very uncomfortable thing to break ribs like that. Can you get through there?
Oh, tight.
Tight.
I'll do my best.
That's Thomas the Woodcarver's head going past. You can move that light a bit. Move that. Yeah, don't worry. Got him. Oh. There we are.
I wanted the other. Could you pass me the other key rings?
Where's the other key rings?
On your right hand side there. Yes, please.
These ones.
Should we four there? Yeah.
There we are. You can see that's what Thomas the Woodcarver's working on. Little ship on the ocean. You hope you'll cross the ocean of life safely. Good example for how we take input as well from everybody, because one day we always used to have the ship facing the other way, and then somebody said, can you change that? And we said, well, why is that then? Because they said, I want the ship going towards the sun, not towards the rain. So we said, fair enough, and we've done it the other way ever since. And then some simple little flowers, great ways to get into wood carving. We've got some nice woods there. That one there's a bit of the juniper.
Yep.
That's a bit of iroko. That one there is a bit of walnut. And the last one, that looks like a bit of teak.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Lovely colours. The beauty of working in
I'm going
wood.
to sand these round, I'll come back, I'll shellac them, and I'll explain them what I'm doing and why I'm doing it.
Oh no. Oh dear. Oh dear me. Oh, that's it's a sporting injury. Look at that. Do you know, I was doing sports projects, I was filming them last week, but I'm sorry to hear you've taken a bit of a tumble. I hope you recover quick. I want to know, did you score, did you what do you call it? Did you score a home run though? That's what I want to know. There we are, that's Thomas Woodcarver coming back through. And I've just read the story. It's getting worse and worse there. So you didn't even score the home run. Oh dear. And you were tagged out by your 13-year-old daughter. Oh my goodness. not a good afternoon or morning's baseball by the sound of it. That's the advantage of being in a wheelchair. I can zig when others think I zag. Brilliant. Dear me. Right, we got to that far when with our puffin, so you can see what the outline. Well, we got the outline of the puffin. We've done the pierce work, and now we're going to go on to doing the pierce work of our phoenix. So I saw all of that first of all of that pierce work in one go, and then we'll go on to cutting out the outlines of both. I missed as well. Did I miss Sawyer Rob in there as well? Snuck in. Hope all is well. Yeah, thanks for joining us, everyone. Always great to have you here. It's changing up again with where last week we were working on a Lovespoon. We got to put I haven't got round to taking a photo for that one, but that's heading up to the South Wales College there. So great to have them involved, and a great design by Jasper. And now this one, we're turning this into a decoration, so it's that phoenix, so creating that effect of fire. There we are. There we are. Pierce work completed. Yeah, and now we'll start working on cutting the surrounds. A bit more simple, cutting out our puffin candle holder surround, and then there'll be a little bit more work to get that fiery surround for our phoenix. I'm going to see how far this blade is going to go because I've been working with that one quite a while. Okay.
Put this camera back on.
Yeah, no worries. We put the two cameras back on.
And can I explain to everybody what I'm thinking as well at the same time? The mic is on you, isn't it?
the mic is on my camera here at the moment. I tell you the only problem we've got there now. I tell you what I'll do. We'll bring your camera out. Bear with me 2 seconds. To about there, and then right. You still need to come up further. There you are. You'll have to. If you look at the screen, there's a screen in front of you, so
okay. Yeah,
to get it on the screen.
That's not a million miles away.
Ah, that's fine. Everyone can see that one.
Can I explain as well? Saying, can they hear me on your mic?
They'll be able to hear on your mic as well. I'll turn you on. There we are. We'll turn you on and turn me off. There you go.
Okay. It's just to explain what I'm thinking. Because I haven't explained this to you either, Dave. For everybody else, Dave and I...
I'll tell you what, you're on there.
We're on. Okay.
Yeah,
Although we work in the same place, we work individually, and yet we work together. I know that sounds strange, but we sort of have our own direction. Yeah. And what I'm thinking with these, you see, these are very simple key rings. And what I try to do, I'm getting a bit older now, folks, okay? I'm well past 70, so I can't work the same as I used to. And so, in my mind, I have to try and, people listening, people doing wood carving, some are doing it for a hobby, some are doing it for it's their business. And in our case, it's a bit twofold. It's our hobby and it's our business. But I'm always conscious of how long it takes me to make something and what kind of a price I have to charge for that product. And so, whilst money isn't everything, we are conscious that we have to make a living. And being well past 70, I get a pension. So in some respects, it's not crucial for me. Yet I'm still conscious that Dave has 2 sons and obviously he has to make a living. So I am conscious of making enough money for the business to continue. And so what I try to do is simple, for anybody in the same sort of situation as us, what I've been trying to do over the last sort of weeks or so, these end up as key rings.
Hello to Richard as well.
And they sell for around about £4.50. So if you work it out, the equipment that we, the little keychain that we use, we'd say is 50 pence. So believe it or not, the profit on this would be about £4 each one. So we've got 6. We've got 6 fours, £24. It doesn't sound a lot, but if I make 6 of these in a day, and I do that for a few weeks, obviously it mounts up. And so, what did I say? 6 profit-wise, £24, wouldn't it? Make it easy, £25.
I'd round it down. Let's say you got £20 a day.
Okay.
So you work 5 days a week.
It's £100.
So you've got £100
yeah.
making simple little items.
So for anybody in this game,
something says we work together like a cog in a well-oiled machine.
It's worth, because, today, for instance, we had somebody in filming. So...
well, that's interesting as well, because when we do stuff like that now, we have to be a bit crafty. So whilst they were doing that, they said, can you demonstrate making a spoon? So I made a spoon that we were out of stock on.
Yeah.
So we get, we're not...
And what was that spoon worth about?
About £50.
About £50.
Yeah,
so although that was all we made this morning,
yeah,
it was about £50 worth of work.
But it could have been worse, because it could have been a situation where we spent the whole day well, half the day, and you're not really making.
Yeah. So I mean, I would have normally have done these in the morning.
It's the same with the live stream now. We do the live stream, and we're making these items. So the items that we'll finish off today, we can sell them afterwards.
But I just think to anybody,
Same with all of our videos.
this product is so simple. They're offcuts. As Dave said earlier.
The great one with that is that, I'll be honest with like what I do is I'll cut out a load of letters and I'll stick the letter on the front of it, and then we sell them as personalised keyring, A, B, C, D, etc, etc. And I can't keep up with it. We sell them so fast. If you're looking for products for sale, that's our number one.
Yeah, I'll put these 3 there so they can see
the
ones you're referring to.
I'm going to carry on cutting.
Okay, that was one that Dave was referring to. A Y.
They'll still be able to hear on your camera as well.
An I, okay, and a B with a heart. That's a star. And so, okay, that's the mic on there. Right. pliers on there.
Pliers. On the top there. There's the wrench.
Oh, the other one is. The big
No,
black.
I'm not sure.
The black one.
Right, am I alright to come into that device there to do some...
Yeah, okay, I'll go on to the... If I go... what I'll do, I'll go on to the scroll saw then. I can do this on the scroll saw now.
Oh, there we are. We leave it on the two cameras.
So if I go over there...
Okay, so... I agree with Thomas. Anything that you can do to keep the lights on is good. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's what we do is
that on the...
Yeah, I will put you on... that's a little on the split screen. So, can you see you're partially... Now, the problem I got, I can't move that camera any further back.
That's fine. You just tell me where to move and...
2 seconds. Let's... what we'll do, we physically will have to move the camera back. So we're going long range. Let's have a look. Bear with us.
Dave's motto is don't work with children and animals and
Thomas wood carver. There you go. Ah, that's spot on. That should be fine. There we go. Should we go back a little bit further? Yeah, like that. Hopefully we'll be able to. It's on the. It's on where you look. The camera's looking at there.
Okay.
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 There we are. So you can see how Thomas the Woodcarver does that. And in this one, we can come back in. I'm going to start off with the puffin.
Am I still on the mic?
I can't see anything of you at the moment. Your hand is right in front. Tell you what. We're on this camera with the sound, but we should be able to hear you coming through.
Okay, yeah.
Here we are.
It's just to explain that because sometimes you have these days, like because we had this chat in this morning, it developed the fact that we're out in the country, we're a mile away from the railway station, and
I can feel a rant coming on.
no, he came down by taxi. He came all the way from Cardiff, and then had a taxi. I think he set out about 4 o'clock this morning.
Did he really?
Yeah.
No.
Set out 4 o'clock this morning. He came down to here by taxi, and then I said, "Okay, I'll take you back to the station to catch the train." Well, the train was supposed to leave around 2 o'clock. We got to the station, and believe it or not, very unusual, the train was cancelled. Normally, very unusual. Can I get my tongue out of my cheek now?
Yeah, for those basically, there's here in Wales now. We got the government has taken over the railways, and they're in charge of it. And they got an organisation called Transport for Wales, which I have heard in some quarters that they actually believe stands for "Thanks for waiting."
Yeah.
So
and they're trying to encourage people to travel by train.
yeah. So
Anyway,
this
got to the station, 2 o'clock, train's cancelled.
and we checked it on the computer,
Yeah.
and
So the next train
it was
is 2 hours away.
So we had to go back up
So
the
I
station
went back up,
just to check on
explained to
him.
the chap, just in case, and he's now getting on the train, hopefully at 4 o'clock. No, 4:15, sorry. But
Well, when you think it's supposed to be encouraging people out of their cars,
yeah.
and
The reason I'm explaining is because
Not
by
great.
the time I came back, I've lost a morning with him filming. I'm happy to do that. That's fine.
well, no, I mean he was very good, and
Really good. He was, yeah.
we always encourage people. Basically, he's a student, and he wanted to share, doing a sort of media course, and he wanted to share the tradition with people of
Exactly.
Lovespoon carving.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that we were commending, because most people don't really give it any sort of thought or attention at all.
Yeah.
So that's why we encourage people, if we let them, we do let people film here, because
But the young man was from Egypt.
Yeah. Was he?
And yeah.
Oh, there we are.
And his, you know, his vocabulary was probably better than mine.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's embarrassing then to take this gentleman from Egypt,
And he's come here and he's trying to do something.
Welsh tradition.
And there's a Welsh tradition of, if you want to get the train, you're gonna have to be patient.
Yeah, and we got one of the Welsh ministers. What were you saying about him, David?
I was reading an article on one of them where they're basically heading the campaign for Welsh people to get out of their cars and to use public transport, which in West Wales, I got to be honest, that's quite good comic value, but there we are. And then it works out that he'd put in all of his claims for his expenses. I think he'd used the train himself once, and he'd spent the rest of the time driving back and forth in his car.
And that's in 12 months, is it?
That is, I don't know what that is, but it basically, the article, the gist of it is another politician who is completely and totally non-self-aware and is telling everybody, do as I say, not as I do.
So it wasn't a rant, was it? I would just
Well, you're nearly turning me into a rant now.
You know, so something like these little key rings, if you understand, it's very
Yeah, good plan. Back to the key ring. Back to the key ring.
But what I'm explaining is therapeutic for me, because
Do you know, I think.
together and looking at the wood, thinking how wonderful the wood is.
Do you know, I'd be honest, like because we do, you know, we do a lot of YouTube and things like that as well. And one thing I love, this is something, you know, we get asked a lot. And like, for instance, there's always a lot of attention on some of like the more elaborate projects that we do. I love getting back to just doing a simple project, something really, really simple, completely basics, you know, beginners sort of stuff. And a big reason I like doing it is because you've got to still get all your processes right, and you to do it to a good quality. You know, there's no easy jobs with it, but you know, things like the key rings. Recently, as I said, I did some designing of these different bird projects, and there's nothing complicated in any of them, but I just really enjoyed the whole process from having that initial idea right the way through to the conclusion of actually finishing it off.
Am I showing that on camera now?
Go on, put it in front of the camera.
On this one?
There you go. You can half see him wandering around with it. There's a tray. That's a whole tray we've got there prepared. Work in progress.
Little key rings. You know, there's one there's a heart-shaped one as well. But no.
Well, what is that? What is that? Let's be honest about it. You know, this is where people ask us. They say, "Oh, can we buy your offcuts?" And I always say to them, "Say what offcuts? There they are. You know, an offcut for us.
See those on the
you know, we can use tiny bits of wood."
And as I mentioned earlier, at the end of the week, you know, you've got £100 worth of stock.
Yeah.
Okay, it's maybe not going to make us millionaires, but it's satisfying in a number of ways.
Yeah, it is. Putting those scraps, those odds and ends, putting them to good use. And I always sort of, anybody who's looking at the commercial side of things, I would always say that the simple little projects are actually the ones that I find are the best to base your business plans around. I'm a strong believer in that. You got the tea?
Yeah, I got the tea.
Cup of tea there. Right, so you can see this is taking shape. I love carving birds. Lovely ones to do. And this one here, it's nice. You can shape it all round. Start to see the beautiful colour of that wood coming through. I thought you were going to pass me my tea.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. I thought you were going to bring me tea across for me. Let's have a little look. That AM has actually said that he has to use a car to get to the meetings on time. One person living only 5 to 6 miles from Llanelli Hospital said it would take them over an hour by bus to get there. There we are. He knows who we were talking about. Mark straight away. He knew straight away. Speaking of basics for beginners, my tools should be here tomorrow for the project that's been in the works. Ah, fantastic. Oh, exciting stuff. Oh, thank you for the update. The carver has been in some serious negotiations. Check out his channel. With all of that, we want updates. We want updates on everything that's happening on that one. It's finally, the wheels are in motion. Big steps are happening. It's well worth keeping an eye on what's happening on the carver's channel, because exciting developments. Yeah, so I mean that's the thing. I mean the point we're getting at with the transport things is that, you know, it really does need sorting out, doesn't it? It's the same as things like the electricity, where, you know, everybody sort of we're always advocating green, being as green as possible and things like that, but
well, you asked me to drill.
They need to get things sorted in terms of having the infrastructure there first.
I'm going to pop in the machine shop then and drill those two.
Yeah, you carry on.
Those two holes. So the left goes there.
Should have an unboxing update video later this week. Brilliant. We'll have a look at that one. We'll be checking that out. Oh, that's there's been tough negotiations that have gone on for several months for the carver, and now the wheels are in motion. We've also recently, on a similar theme, we had, I put it over to this camera, we had in we just had our delivery of Starbond, and if you haven't checked out their site for a little while, well worth having a little check. They're introducing a load of new products. One that they've sent us, and I'm going to be thinking now of how I'm going to use it. They sent us white CA glue, so that might be interesting, because I certainly had fun working with the black CA glue. So yeah, I'll be checking that out and seeing if we can get creative, come up with an idea of how I can work with the white glue. Great part of what we do is coming up with new ways to be creative with the different things that we get sent. So yeah, thanks again to Starbond for supporting us, and we will continue to give different ideas using their product. Right, so we got this line now, just to give a little bit of separation, and hopefully it's starting to take shape. The other part of this little project is the candle stand. So Thomas the woodcarver, that's what he's going to do now. He's going to prepare that for me. Let's have a little look, a little bit more shaping on there, like so, on the back edge. Now we've got to get the head sort of rounded off. So I'm going to carve a little bit further in by here, and then turn it round. I'm eager to check out new CA glue. Yeah, doesn't particularly like the heat generated on the lid. Oh, that's interesting.
Do you want to just put a little tiny mark to see where?
Do you want to grab what I would do is to have it 1 centimetre away from the front.
Okay.
So this is Thomas Woodcarver's marking out for that, and if you just have it, about 1 centimetre away from it. Oh, that's an interesting one with the heat, because it's worth knowing with these different products, they've got different strengths and weaknesses. I came unstuck, pardon the pun, I came a bit unstuck with the CA glue, because I automatically assumed it would be waterproof, and it wasn't. As one of the children said at my son's birthday party, because last year I made ducks, what do they call it, Minecraft style ducks. Yeah, that's
the one we're using. So you want to put there, is it?
I would say so, yeah. Yeah, just a little bit away from the front. Yeah, and I used the Starbond CA glue for that one, and as one of them described it, they said the ducks have started melting.
because unfortunately the CA glue was not actually waterproof. But you live and you learn.
Same for this one?
Yeah.
I'll do it this side, I think that'll be...
But yeah, I'm interested to see how it gets on, how we get on with the white CA glue. I haven't automatically got a thought of how I'm going to use it, if I'm being honest. But I'm sure we will come up with a plan. It's like the black CA glue. When they first sent that, I thought, what am I going to do with that? And then I started enjoying it and doing all sorts. We got Gabby as well. I see you're going for, you're focusing more on wood turning at the moment. So yeah, if you're interested in the wood turning, well worth having a check of what Gabby's up to. Yeah, some nice demonstrations. Always great to see what everybody else is making. Right, so you can see we're just getting that shape going. Oh, look at that. What happens when it goes wrong? Right, that changes the plan. What happens when you push too hard? You go straight through. Although that did actually splinter away quite badly. Okay, now we got to think. So basically, how do we remedy this? We'll carve the whole thing deeper. Not to worry. That's life. Things go wrong. There's always something we can do with it. The main thing when something like that happens is not to panic. So, yeah, you'll find things like that. I was just checking the comments. You'll find little things will happen, things will go wrong. Main thing, don't worry about it. Carve it deeper into the wood. I wonder, can I actually make like a bit of a feature of this now? There's two sort of ways I could go with this. I could either sand the whole thing nice and down, so I could go through the whole thing and sand it all down, or I could make a feature of it. So let's have a look. Or I could do a bit of both. So the first thing, here we are. I'm just going to carve this down a little bit further. Same on this one.
Can I get away with that, Dave?
Yeah, that's fine.
It was a bit over to the one side, sorry about that.
Oh, it's alright, we're both making mistakes. I had a beast chip straight out of there. There you go.
Yeah, well, the bird is sitting on the branch, in fairness, you know, so that
Well, the question is this.
happens with branches.
Are we going to leave it as... Are we going to make a feature out of it and go for like a bit of a rugged finish on the outside, or do we just sand everything down?
No, I would just chip carve it all.
Yeah?
Yeah.
There we are. Because it gives it... I tell you what we're doing. This is where, see, use your mistakes to be... to claim that you're, you know...
Well, that's very interesting.
An artiste.
Because we get people come in and they say, oh, you know, I like that, you know, I like that bit, it's rustic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it is, you know, it's...
Well, no, what I can claim now, see, is that it's I'm going to do a rugged finish because I'm thinking of it's a puffin, isn't it? And where they're normally in and around sort of rocky coves and
Yeah, that's right.
sitting on the rocks and fishing, and so yeah, it's completely done on purpose. I meant to do that all along. I meant to take out a big chip so we give it a sort of rugged finish.
Is your tongue supposed to be black?
Hey?
Is your tongue supposed to be black?
It all happens. This is coming from the man who carved 2 bowls smooth and 2 bowls rough for his wedding spoon, and claims that he did that on purpose because he was recording the rough and the smooth of married life.
Well, I mean, the truth is, if I was doing that, I would have done at least 4 rough ones, wouldn't I?
4 rough ones. There we are.
Silence. is golden.
Let's have a little look on here now. You just start to see. Yeah, that's coming on quite nicely. It's taking shape.
It's beautiful timber, isn't it?
It's lovely stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
So let's have a look. Have we completely taken that away? You go along there, on the edge. It's lovely in the carving birds and flowers and stuff like that.
Oh, I think so, yeah. Yeah.
I always enjoy carving them. What's the plan here now? Are you going to stick it together for us while...
If you want me to.
Now, because we're sticking that there, we'll have to get it a bit flatter so we get a good contact, won't we?
Well, I'll sand it on the machine if you want me to.
See? If I just...
I don't think it matters, Dave. It'll...
We just want a better contact, that's all.
Yeah.
What I'm going to do is to... we've got a bit of,
Well,
the
you
finishing... We've got a bit of the finishing sandpaper.
Yeah, but we could just stick that one on the top. Instead of...
It'll go. Yeah, it'll go fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be fine. There's plenty of area that is contact.
Happy with that, okay.
Yeah. Oh, do us a favour, you pass me that one there.
This bit?
Yes, please. And I'm just going to sand over. I'm going to sand it all over. What sort of the puffin? It's got a very, like a friendly face, isn't it?
Don't they call them clowns?
Is it? Oh.
I think so.
The clown, yeah, the clown bird or something, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Excuse me a second, I'm just having my... There we are, that's what Marcus said. He said, round it off and make it look like a rock. There you go, see? Yeah, that was... And then claim that we're artistic then, see? That is, Mark. We did it to make it a little bit more artistic. Excuse me. I'm having my cup of tea at the same time, but it's taking shape. You did a beautiful puffin, didn't you, years ago for a lamp? I think you showed it last week.
Yeah.
And then what it is I thought, what haven't we done? So I got a demonstration, I hope, coming up soon on the channel, and I'll be demonstrating carving some different birds. So I thought I enjoy that. Artisan, absolutely. So yeah, and another one. I was actually thinking this year. I'm already thinking and planning out our spoon for recording this year, and I did wonder about doing that. I thought it'd be a really nice spoon to do, like a nature-themed one with like animals and birds and flowers and leaves.
Right.
What do you think of that?
Yeah.
Because I thought, you think about it, we've carved some really nice bespoke spoons with all sorts of different birds and animals on. I thought that'd be nice for a spoon for a year. I think people would really like that. Oop. I'm going to flatten this off a little bit more. And then, let's have a look. So there's a little splinter needs to go down there. And then there's a little lumpy bit there that you can just take away. Is it because of their feet as well that they call them clown?
I'm not sure, I assumed it was their beak.
Well, no, it's because they got a colourful, like a painted face, haven't they?
Yeah.
But they've also got big feet. You think you've got those big feet? You see them coming into land. Beautiful birds. We get them. The reason they're associated with this area because there's what they call Skomer Island, and you can go across to the island and you can see them all when they're nesting. It'll be coming up now in the springtime, won't it?
Yeah.
There we are. Right. Yeah. The last little bit is to just separate out little line edges to separate out the feet. If I give that across to you, do you reckon you can turn that into You may need to flatten it. You could just flatten that one bit off a little bit more if you want to. And then while Dad is doing that, I can at least make a start on our Phoenix. We've done a few different Phoenixes. I remember.
There's going to be a void there, isn't there?
Do you want to flatten it down?
I don't know what to say really. I think just go. Well, okay. Yeah. What I could, if I mark it with a pencil there,
Yeah.
I could make a little lip for it almost. You know?
Or you could just put it on the sander and
That's what I was thinking.
flatten that one little bit, and then have it where it sort of just overlaps a little bit.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a little lip for it.
There we are. You know what they say about birds with big feet, don't you? Big shoes. You'll have to enlighten us on that one. Although I say that with a bit of trepidation. Right. So you can see what we're starting to do. Get those stop cuts. And I'm conscious with this one, you've got to go delicately because there's these pieces on the outside. So just got to be careful not to go and sort of split those or anything. Big shoes. So you can see we're just getting those separately like so. And there's with this one, yeah, there's going to be quite a bit of the cargoes, but this is the family channel. So we're just going to go around like so. And again, this one, main thing is we're trying to create that impression of sort of fire. And there's going to be quite a few stop cuts in the process of doing that. Yeah. But we possibly simplify the design just a little bit, just to make it more viable for us to possibly reproduce it. Let's have a little look. So for instance, that one there, if we just put a line there, like so. And then these ones, right, we come around here. I'm going to work on the obvious lines first of all. Okay, and then the same, that one there. Excuse me. Excuse me. We are all one big indeed, absolutely. I hope so. So what we're doing now, we're basically working out where all of these stop cuts will go. So that gives us our basis for carving from. And afterwards then, see, it'll be the stop cuts that really do give it that that impression of the bird is, the phoenix is in flames, is burning. Those wings are burning away. So it's just deciding which way to go with the different cuts. And that's what we're working out as we go along. Right, this one here. Yeah, one in like so. There we are. And then we just need one more cut. I think we're missing one little cut right here. Separate that one. Yeah, let's just start adding. Okay, let's just start adding a little bit of depth. It's a great part of where we do add paper. When you start cutting it away, you see that beautiful grain in the wood. Certainly have to go delicately here because we don't want to go and chop its head off by accident. Hopefully, we're starting to see that one. We're starting to see it coming together. So using a spike, I'm just going to put the eye of the phoenix in like so. And as I'm doing this then, see, what happens quite often when you do a new design like this, you're trying to work out, is it going to be something that's viable for us to reproduce? And my initial impression is there's probably too much carving on this one to reproduce it. But it's a fun little project. Too many stock cuts and just a little bit too much detail, but it'll be nice when it's finished. How is the candle holder? How is that progressing there?
I think you'll be happy with it.
Good, good.
I hope you will anyway.
There we are.
There we are, it's all yours now. It's all yours for gluing now.
Brilliant.
That's done, look.
Yeah.
You can show
Just
you
put a little bit of a lip on
a
there.
bit of a lip.
And it'll sit on there nicely.
And it's flat as well then, you see.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's great.
Take that out of your way.
Got that nice and flat. And a little bit of a lip just cut in there and it'll sit on top nicely. Brilliant. I like that one.
Interesting really, because that, what I did there, if we can explain to everybody, I just, you can see the lip on it?
Yeah.
It goes right back to my school days,
There we are.
where you do a little tea halving or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's the same principles, that you're using the same sort of chisels and technique
That you learned
to make a halving.
60 plus years ago.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm going to try and get these ones just finished off. And this one.
You got the glue for that one, no? Only for that.
Yeah, just behind me. We've got a pot of shellac as well.
Oh, that's always the nice bit.
When we add the shellac,
Yeah, that's always the.
brings up the character
Yeah.
in the woods.
It never fails to give you a little bit of enjoyment when you finish the product and you put that first coat of shellac on to bring out all the colours and character of the grain.
It was an interesting morning working with a gentleman from Cardiff University because some of the different questions were fascinating. I find it with the Lovespoon. I think a lot of people in Wales don't realise and understand how much interest there is in the tradition internationally. I think there's a lot more interest there with people from all around the world than is realised. I always find that when I'm sharing it with
Who was the chap now that the newscaster went out to Patagonia?
I don't know.
Ah, dear me. I'll find out now.
Was he from Wales?
Oh, he speaks Welsh. Yeah.
No, I'm not too sure. I don't watch the telly too much. The only telly I watch is what my two boys are watching. Right. A lot of stock cuts on this one here, so a lot of
Hugh Edwards.
Hugh Edwards.
Hugh Edwards, yes. All the way, we say 6,000 miles, all the way to Patagonia.
Yeah.
All about how the Welsh people went
Patagonia is an interesting place because that's the only place in the world where Welsh and Spanish
out.
are the two official languages.
And the
Or the only place I can think of.
I missed the actual start of it, but I'm pretty sure it was an hour-long program.
Okay.
And just for people to understand why I get a little bit frustrated with the media, this gentleman now it was all about the people that went out to Patagonia, Welsh people of course, and they took the language. It was very difficult for them, I would imagine, and he expressed a lot of things that they were doing out there. And
Oh yeah, I thought it was one tough environment to survive in.
An hour-long program, and I'm waiting. Is he going to show the Lovespoon? Is he going to show the Lovespoon? Is he going to say something about the Lovespoon? Is he heck? I might be wrong, but I may have missed it. But you got the dragon, you got the daffodils, they were there in bunches. And nothing about the Welsh Lovespoon. What did I say his name was? Hugh Edwards. That's right, isn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah, newscaster, and you know.
Well, I as I said, I know that it's very interesting because you were saying that lad now he was from Egypt and could see that he was really interested in.
Well, he was quite surprised, wasn't he? Because the university.
Well, he was speaking to the people that he was in university with, and he was surprised that there were so many Welsh people in the university and they didn't know about the Lovespoon. But I guess it's just not. It's something that's just not taught, is there? But it is good to know because he said he loved seeing the process of crafts being made, and yeah, it was a pleasure to be able to share what we do with him.
Yeah.
Right, we're just.
But I mean, the most important thing I know I keep harping on about it, but it's the
Welsh harp. We didn't mention the Welsh harp.
Welsh,
Yeah, didn't mention the Welsh harp.
yeah. You know, it's the therapy side. It's that side of it.
Well, he was very interested in that, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was interviewing you about it because now that's another thing that we do. We have groups and always try and help them, you know, with occupational therapy and things like that, because as many of you know, it's therapeutic doing the woodworking.
Yeah, and it is. It's, you know, you're drawing a picture. You put in a little story into it. You may express how you feel with the Lovespoon. It's so much. I just see so many so-called, you know, some of these journalists and some of the people that are putting programs on. They seem to be able to do pottery, cooking, and yet when you've got a,
Didn't they try to do a program on woodworking, and they had to cancel it all because one of the leading candidates or something, it turned out to be a character that you probably something that was a little bit questionable.
oh, there was something.
I think that happened, didn't it?
Yeah. But it really is. It's the. Well, I mean, the people that contact you now on this website. I mean, they've all got a love for the wood.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic material. Right, I think we're nearly getting towards. I want to see how this one comes up. That's what because we've chosen some really nice pieces of wood. It's not the easiest of wood to work with because this one gets quite splintery.
And the grain runs.
Oh, it runs in different directions.
In 2 directions, you know.
Well, that's why I'm giving myself an excuse now, but that's why that splinter happened, is because it just, it literally, as it cut in, it just crumbled. Right, we're nearly there. Yes, it was Hugh Edwards. Unfortunately, Welsh traditions are not taught in Welsh schools. No, they're not. And I mean, we've had a few schools contact us, and we always try to help out, but there's basically a little bit at the moment where it's their way or it's the highway. So unfortunately for ourselves, we haven't got the free time to go to them. We're always more than happy to have people come here. I mean, we're a free workshop, so people can come here for free, and we can show you what we do and share the process and teach what we do. But yeah, as in going to do it elsewhere, we just haven't got the free time. Right, let's have a look. There's a few little splintery bits left over here that we can take away. Like so. So, conclusions with this one. I think that the puffin candle holder, from a business point of view, would be a lot more viable for us to continue doing than my Phoenix.
Oh, definitely.
Decoration. We'd have to find something. We'd have to find a larger project to reproduce this one, because there's just too much work involved. How are we getting on there? Yeah. Right. It's nice. I'm happy with how it's finished off, but there's just a bit too much.
You got the your side there, right?
Yeah, we got a brush. Brilliant.
Yeah. Got the cloth, brush. Oh, dear me. I'm spoiling you again.
Carver saying, yeah, saying how he picked it up as personal therapy. Absolutely. And look at where it helps, as Mark was saying, helps the depression. Yeah, absolutely, because now we had some people in, recently, and that was with the occupational therapy, and we always sort of encourage, yeah, get making, because it's that, it is literally that occupation. Right, let's have a little look. One more cut in there. That way there a little bit. Lovely. Right, next part of the process. So we're going to stick that on there, like so. So a little bit of CA glue that we got just in behind us. I think we put the CA glue on this side. There we are. The thick CA glue I find is easiest for me to control. It's just a little line like so. Put that one down there, line it up, try and get it square on best you can. There, so I can start. Let's get a brush, and then we can put a coat of shellac on this one. There we go. We get a coat of shellac on the Phoenix whilst we're waiting. And you really do see that colour coming out. There we are. And I'm just going to start with this one because there's a few little splashes gone on there. There we go, that's coming together. Just like so. And we try and get that shellac all the way, all over the gaps. Around the sides as well.
We glued it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just like so. Yeah, that's a little point actually. I always glue it first and then shellac it, because I find that if you shellac before you glue it, it doesn't get as good a contact, so it can break that much easier, that much more easily for you. There we are. There's one there. Let's finish this one off as well. I'm going to leave the back of this one because I might actually turn this into a little fridge magnet, because Yelly was asking for extra fridge magnets, so I think we'll turn this one into a fridge magnet. So I'll leave the back, shellac all of the front, and those are our two bird theme projects. We got that puffin. Mark likes the phoenix. Yeah, what I'm gonna have to do, I know what we could do with that. I got it now. Oh, here we are. You saved the best till last. Here's the idea. Right. Here's an idea. What do you reckon? We demonstrated that the other day. We demonstrated doing a Celtic themed letter rack, like that one there. So we could replace that, we could do a letter rack, and we could put the phoenix on the front. That'll work well.
Yeah, spot on.
There we go. Something like, I'm trying to get that one on our letter rack. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just go out with the camera. That one there. So we put the phoenix on the front of something like that. That'll work well.
Yeah, that's good.
So that's what you got to do. All it is, that's the only issue that I had, is that unless we can think of a bigger project to add that to, like a letter rack, like something like this, then it's not viable because there's too much work. But that would work well if we stuck that onto the front of a letter rack instead. That'd be much more viable. Probably a better idea. And that's how you sort of work it out. That's how you learn, and that's how things can sort of develop. Could do something like add it to a carving on a clock or something like that, or a love spoon. Yeah, and it would work well. There we are. Great idea for bills. They can burn. Yeah, exactly. Brilliant.
Right, we put an extra pound on that, Dave.
Yeah, we just had a shop. We had the water bills. I don't know if you've had yours, Mark, but blimey, that's gone up a bit, isn't it? There we are. Thank you all again for watching. Hope you all have a great week. Any thoughts, any questions, give us a shout. Some of these designs as well, I got to remember to get onto the website for anybody who wants to have a go. I haven't updated that for a while, so yeah, keep an eye out on that. I'll let you know when they go on. But thanks again for joining us, and all the very best to you all.